Hello guys, my name is Mr. Tachyon and this is my first YouTube video, uh, and I'm going to help you and I'm going to dedicate this channel to help you understand certain physics topics that many people or some people in some cases find it confusing and hard. Okay, so for example, instead of black holes, let's consider quantum physics, okay, which uh, somehow is very which nowadays is very popular subject among people. They discuss that how can a particle be two places at once. No, right, it's very fascinating to me as well. But today I'm going to cover black holes instead of quantum physics. That's going to be, I don't know, maybe third or fourth lecture, third or fourth video somehow. This is not going to be a lecture. I'm not a teacher. Okay, I'm just here to help you out in certain cases. So, okay, you might be seeing that this is the heading, but there's a problem here that if I close this tab, the whole recording goes away. So just cope with me, okay? Okay, let's start. Okay, the first question that comes to mind when you think about or you hear the word black holes is, yes, many people think about what are black holes. They hear it for the first time. They think about it deeply. So they somehow Google in Wikipedia. They somehow don't understand some English that okay, no, electromagnetic radiation. Some people, I'm not talking about all people. So I'm going to help you guys understand what they are talking about. Okay, so let's begin. So the first question is, what are black holes? The answer is very simple. Okay, a black hole is a dense object in space. Okay, a black hole is a very dense object in space. Okay, very dense object in space. You guys might be wondering, okay, how dense? There must be a number. You can't just write, oh, very dense. I'm going to tell you the number. It's almost infinity. Almost infinite. Okay, almost infinite. Yes, that's true. Almost infinite. Because of such huge amount of mass, huge density, the gravitation. Can you just imagine how it would affect the gravity? Okay, so you guys might be wondering what I'm talking about. How gravity came in between with the density and mass. Okay, so I'm going to tell you. Okay, almost infinite, right? Okay, so Einstein said that mass or density, we people think that most of us used to think, not now, but we used to think that gravity is just an force of the universe. Like there are other forces, right? Force, fundamental forces, strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force, gravity. So most people think, okay, it's one of the four forces, but Einstein discovered what Einstein discovered. It's not a force, rather it's a distortion of space and time. Okay, so space is bent or somehow shaped this way that it causes the after effect that we call as gravity. And he's equated in an equation that said in an equation that the more the mass of an object, the more gravitation would it create, the more the space would it bend. Okay, so let me just say this around. Pause now. So you guys might think, okay, so Einstein said in his theory of relativity that the more the mass of an object, the more will it bend the space. Okay, now let me just prove it to you. I will go forward. Yes, I will continue forward. Just hear me out. The proof is that you see our sun is very is a dwarf sun. Yes, it's a dwarf star, not a full giant star. Comparatively, in YouTube there is a video comparing all the giant stars we have ever known. Just you guys must see it. It's a must-watch thing. Video. So Einstein said in an equation. So the proof is that the sun, you see, it's very, it's a dwarf star. Yes, comparatively it is a dwarf star. But to just have you visualize that concept, I'm going to I'm going to have a brush. No, brush. It's going to cancel the text. I'm sorry. So just visualize a marble. Okay, visualize a marble and then compare it to a football. So you see the difference between the largest and the smallest star. Actually, it's much bigger than that. Okay, don't just compare a football. Okay, it's much bigger than that. Okay, Einstein said in his equation. He said in his equation. So the proof is that our sun has very large amount of mass in it. Okay, it's very dense, very dense. Well, not comparable to black hole. It's almost infinite. It's there on the screen. But the sun is compared to Earth. It is very huge amount of mass in it. Okay, density is very dense. So when you compare it with Einstein's equation, that in Einstein's theory, that the greater the mass, the more space it bends. So if you can consider what I said just now, that how the gravity is an after effect of space bending and having shape that we call the after effect that we call as gravity. Yes, so just compare it with the theory, and so the more the mass, the more space it bends, thus the larger or the greater effect of gravity. You understand? Yes. So the greater the mass, the more space it bends, thus the larger and the greater effect of gravity it has on nearby objects. You understand, right? So how does sun attract total 8 planets as they're orbiting? Not so, even a small bean has a gravitational effect on us, but just because it's so small we can't experience it. But due to sun's hugeness, it's just we are not just experiencing it, but it goes beyond us. You understand, right? So due to the sun, it bends space. Okay, bends space in a cup shape. Let's say a cup shape. So if you throw a ball along the curvature of the cup inside, okay, not outside, it will just fly off. Inside the cup, it will go in a swirling direction along the side of the ball and then fall down. But you would notice that it swirls around a bit. So think about that ball as light and the curvature as a space that is bent, okay, due to the sun. So if you think about star that is beyond the sun, and the light is reflecting and we can see the star, but the actual position would be a little distorted. You know why? Because due to the space bending and light bending along the path of space, okay? Because if you change the very path of the object, it must abide and go through the path whether it's curved or not. Okay, I'm going to discuss this topic about how it should follow along the path very in detail in the next video. So let's continue. So you can understand how how it distorts even light itself. So when you think about black holes, okay, so as they have almost infinite mass, you understand, due to this they are able to attract Okay, they're able to not just attract light due to the gravitation, as gravitational force is distortion of space, just as I told you. Not just that, but when light reaches this event horizon, you know the thought experiment I just told you, to think about sending a ball through the curvature of the cup. Yes, but instead, just swirling, it swirls around. Yes, it does, but then it's trapped inside. You can't take it out. No way, because the escape velocity of light isn't enough. Not 300,000 miles per second. No, not enough. Still not enough. So you can think that it does not suck light, but it traps light. Okay, you understand? And actually, in some terms, yes, it does suck light in itself. It does have gravitational force, right? Okay, so black holes, in very compact way, I'm just going to tell you, black holes are very dense object in space. They have almost infinite mass. Second point. Third point is that the gravitational influence can even suck light or trap light, as the light does not have even escape velocity. Okay, and they bend space so much, that it's if you want to look to a star beyond the black hole, it will be distorted a lot. Not just 30-40 degrees. No, according to your eye, it will be so distorted that you can't actually believe. I don't know how to give you a visual perspective. Okay, nice. Okay, so second point that I would like to discuss, is going to the last point I want to discuss, because I just took up a lot of time and I don't think I would have enough. I don't want to be this a lengthy session. So the second question I want to discuss with you. Second point that I would like to discuss with you is, what are the characteristics of a black hole? Yes. So first point, a black hole can bend space. Yes. Instead of writing here, I don't know if you want to write, take, just understand, you have a physics book that you keep, because I do keep one physics book for myself, and that covers anything that I've learned new, or it's very intuitive. I like it. Yes, I do. So if you want, you can write it down or not. It can bend space. Distortion space is very huge. Okay, very, very huge. I would like you to go to Google and search. Go to Google and search the Einstein's cross. Okay, go to Wikipedia. You look at the image, and you'll look at 4 blue objects. Okay, actually it's just one object, and due to the distortion, the light is bent so much that you see 4 objects. Okay, and but it's just one object. Okay, so due to some precise angling, you can see 4 of those. Okay, in a crossway. It's called Einstein's cross, as he created this theory, which is proved. Okay, a black hole needs angular momentum to stay in space. Okay, I don't want to just go in very detail. Okay, actually I've cut through the point. Okay, so another characteristic of a black hole is that it has a boundary. Okay, it's not spread throughout space. No, or if it was spread throughout space, we would not be existing today. Okay, because it would have crushed Earth. Okay, so it has an event horizon. The boundary is known as event horizon. It's a very simple term that I'm going to explain, and it's very easy for you. It's going to be very easy for you to understand. Event horizon is the boundary of black hole. Yes, just what I said. And anything that passes this boundary, okay, that passes the boundary, is going to vanish forever. not going to exist anymore. Okay, I mean the black hole is going to trap it. It's going to suck it in if it passes this boundary. If it's outside this boundary, then it can escape. Okay, it can escape. But if the event horizon, but if you pass the event horizon, then actually no one can save you then. Okay, so these are some of the characteristics of space of a black hole. These are some of the characteristics of a black hole. Okay, I have taken too much time, so I would have to end this video here. Okay, I'm going to add, while editing the video, I'm going to add some snips in between the these words, so that you know what I'm talking about. It may seem very less, but just hear me out, and my explanation should be enough. If it's not enough, please comment down the section below what I should do. If there is any doubt, you can just comment down below. I will look through it. Okay, thank you guys. Please like, share and subscribe. If you don't like the video, it's okay, I'm not going to force you. So just subscribe if you love my video. Okay, then there's going to be more coming out soon enough. Thank you.